From the moment the camera inside the Estadio Nacional in Chile's capital, Santiago, focused on the barricaded space reserved for those lives lost during the brutal military dictatorship mid-last century, with the light shining on a banner reading, "A people without memory is a people without a future," it became very clear that this Copa America is more than just another football tournament for the Lone Star Nation. On the pitch, unexpected nervousness impacted the hosts' performance, but didn't impair them against a physically tough Ecuadorian side. They pushed and pushed because a win was a must for La Roja, who are after their very first title ever this year. The apprehensive crowd at the Nacional on a 10 degrees Celsius night were for the most part reserved, other than the famed chi chi chi, le le le, viva Chile here and there. An apprehension that made way for a sigh of relief as the former actor turned referee, and a highly regarded one in fact, Néstor Pitana of Argentina, awarded Arturo a dubious penalty which Vidal himself converted. That seemingly broke the ice. An extremely talented, incredibly focused Chile side filled with stars doubled the lead before the end and won their opening match versus Ecuador as expected. 3 points on paper for the tournament's group considered to be the least complicated, though never easy, because nothing is easy in South America. Well, nothing except deciding that Mexico versus Bolivia in Viña del Mar was easily the least appealing match so far. Even with the crowd hostile towards Bolivia, Chile's longtime geopolitical foes to the northeast, saw, despite support for a Mexico B team, the well-trained Andean side hold down a scoreless draw against the Mexicans. The same Mexico reserve side, who went all out in great Piojo Herrera style with 3 center backs, defense-minded and extremely deep. The wild-mannered, frantic Mexican coach went against the 122 million of his people by insisting upon bringing a 33-year-old Argentine-born Chiapas forward, Matias Vuoso, who made himself a Mexican hero after netting 2 goals, basically silencing the already tense atmosphere permeating around the Estadio Nacional of Santiago, where Chile tried, but simply couldn't topple a long-time complicated rival. In the end, a high-paced, exciting 3-3 draw between the two. And once again, history prevailed for Mexico, who in the Copa America have lost only once out of 7 meetings with the hosts, Chile. Now, an interesting scenario unfolded in the middle of last night. After netting 3 goals and assisting others, Arturo Vidal, along with the rest of the Chilean group, got some much-deserved downtime. But instead of turning on the PS4 and challenging Alexis to a couple of FIFA matches, he decided to hit the casino, and after 3 or 10 pisco sours later, Arturo Vidal crashed his Ferrari while going 160 kilometers per hour, ending up arrested. Now let's just see how much this will affect the squad and La Roja's MVP against the tough Bolivia side. Yes, Bolivia, after 8 years and almost 30 matches later, have finally won downhill and outside their 3.5-kilometer high stronghold of La Paz, being labeled as a pleasant surprise early in this Copa America. And this brings me to another point, a quick message aimed towards Palmeiras fans, actually. Next time you see Jorge Valdivia limping, face cringing, holding his back thigh, signaling for a substitution, do not fall for it. 2 high-intensity performances, fantastic matches by El Mago for Chile. 2 games where he ran more than he did all of last year for Palmeiras, his employers. I'm more than convinced that he's been taking all of you for a ride simply because he can. Thank you, and tune in next week for an analysis of the big 3, not LeBron, Wade, and Bosch, but Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. See you next time.